Very simply, there are 3 key roles in Scrum. You are either a Scrum Master, a product owner, or the development team. Okay. I'm going to start with the development team first. This team comes together. It's typically a cross-functional representation of the organization. And we're talking IT and development. So from development, definitely operations should be involved in there. So again, there's that DevOps recognition and nod. You'll have testers, you'll have developers, you could have business analysts, many a cross-functional team coming together. They are self-organizing and self-directing. So they are the ones that commit to their work. They are the ones that decide how the work will be done, and they are the ones who will succeed together and or fail together. But if you fail, you learn from it and you inspect, you adapt, and you continue on and you improve. Very important, titles are left at the door. Everybody's aware of each other's professional capabilities. However, truly, it is an opportunity for learning, for cross-training, and for understanding that each of us are equal at this table and we're all here to achieve the same goal. So titles are left as at the door. The accountability is with the development team as a whole. So we succeed together. However, at the same time, you cannot assign accountability to a team without giving them the authority and the freedom to take those decisions. And to me, I see this as one of the challenges, especially at a management level. If you're in a very culturally hierarchical managed organization, that this can be very challenging to the management team, especially when they're playing a role, let's say, of a product owner, and we'll talk about that role next, is that the boundaries are set for the development team, the understanding of what they need to achieve, the definition of what done looks like is in place for them to work from, but other than that, it's up to the team to develop and deliver the increment or the outcome. From a product owner perspective then, this is a very unique role. This product owner is accountable for managing the product backlog. We're going to take a look more detail at the product backlog, but they are accountable for ensuring that all of the user stories, so all of the features and or the ultimate increments that we will be delivering to the business, to the client, are organized and prioritized in a database or a spreadsheet as individual product backlog items. This is the list that is introduced to the development team in the sprint planning session to make sure to actually commit to delivering. Right? So they will take a product backlog of perhaps, let's say, 50 product backlog items, and they'll say, we will do the first 10 because you've prioritized high and because we can commit to delivering these 10 features or these 10 components of the release in one increment. So they need to ensure that that product backlog is visible, it's transparent, and it is clear to everybody. I think the most time spent is from the product owner perspective, because the development team will go directly to the product owner to say, this is not clear to us. We are challenged with delivering to the definition of done that you have in place. Can you please, can we talk about this? Can we look to adapt in shape or form? So there's a lot of negotiation and representation there from the product owner. The product owner is also representing business. Okay? So the business isn't at the table with the development team. It's the product owner that is representing the business needs. There's no problem with the development team needing to reach out to the business as needed, but they typically do that through the product owner. And the product owner themselves need to be very respected in the organization. At least their decisions are, okay? The decisions that they make really set those boundaries for that scrum, for that sprint, for that iteration, for the development team. And they are a very, very key member of the team. As I said, one of the challenges is when you put a manager in that role who's used to saying, okay, tell me how you're doing this, give me a breakdown of the plan, I want to see every step in a project plan, yada, 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 no, this is how I want it, and how you should do it. That is not the intent of Scrum. Okay? They just set the frameworks, they're there for clarification, they set the prioritization of the work, and then they're available to make sure that items are clear. So a little bit challenging sometimes for managers to step into that role. And then we have the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master, I love, this is a very fascinating role. It's very much a servant leader role. I like to say, and I've got the quotation marks up in the air, the Scrum Master doesn't, quote, do anything. They don't deliver anything. However, they facilitate the Scrum itself. So they help promote and understand Scrum and support Scrum by understanding Scrum theory, practices, the rules, the value, being able to articulate that across the organization. They will coach the Scrum team in self-organization, cross-functionality, and the Scrum approach, because sometimes, especially when a team is first starting to adopt Scrum, it's very difficult to understand self-organizing, and when you've been told what to do and how to do it before, and then all you do is go off and do it, and now you're being told, well, no, it's up to you to decide how to do it. Right? Very, very different perspectives and approaches to working. So the Scrum Master becomes very much a coach. They're a servant leader. That is their role, servant leader. They are not making decisions for the team, but they're helping to guide and facilitate the team with the skills they need to be successful in their Scrum. They're there to remove the barriers, so they protect the development team. Sometimes from product owners, sometimes from the business, etc. But they are there to protect and to remove any barriers to the Scrum team's progress. They facilitate the Scrum events as requested and needed, and they ensure that all of the time boxes are respected. So a lot of work in logistics, a lot of upfront work, the Scrum Master working with the product owner for initial planning. So quite a bit of integration there. So how does this all come together? This is just a nice visual of seeing the roles. So here we see the Scrum Master and the development team along with a product owner. And you see here that that product owner is representing the internal and or stakeholders and or customers and users here as well. Okay, so they are kind of that role that reaches out to the internal stakeholders and the customers, represent the business and the business need. So that's it, very simple, 3 main roles in Scrum.